We are in the Gemara on the bottom of Daf Nun Hey Amud Beis, the last line. The Gemara here is discussing various different personalities in Tanakh. When you look in the Psukim of Tanakh, it seems like that they sinned, and we're talking about a very grave sin of having a inappropriate relationship. But the truth is, and other sins as well, as we'll see, but the truth is that Chazal explained to us how to read these Psukim. If you don't have the Kabbalah of Chazal, then Bechlal is very difficult to learn Tanakh. Especially here, when you get to these in Yonim, talking about these holy tzaddikim, you have to know how to read the Psukim in Tanakh to understand what really happened. So the next person we're going to talk about over here is, or people, are Bnei Shmuel, the sons of Shmuel. Let's start from the Gemara on the bottom of Nun Hey Amud Beis. Amar Rav Shmuel ben Achmeni, Amar Rabbi Yonasan. Kol ha'omer b'nei Shmuel chatu. Anyone that says that the children of Shmuel sinned, eino yeled tayeh, he's making a mistake. Shenemar, the pasuk says regarding them, vayihi, and it was kashazaken Shmuel, when Shmuel became older, vayasem es banav shayftim li Yisrael. That's the way the pasuk actually reads in Tanakh. The way it's quoted over here in the pasuk, in the Gemara that is, in the parentheses, is not exactly the nusach of the pasuk. So they became older and they did not go in his ways. In the next pasuk it says v'leholchu banav bidrachav, and his children did not go in his ways. So what does this mean? Bidrachav hu d'lo yalachu. They didn't actually follow in their father's footsteps. So that's true. But michte nami lechatu. But the sins that are mentioned in the pasuk there regarding what they did is not to be taken literally. They did not sin literally in that way. So Elamani Mekayim, so how do I interpret those psukim where it talks about their sins? Mani Mekayim vayatu achrei abotza, they went after looking for profit, and the pasuk there continues weiter. You have the pasuk here quoted on the side of the Gemara. They went after betza and vayikchu shoicha, they took bribery, vayatu mishpat, and they did not do justice. What does this mean? So the Gemara answers, Shliasu kemaise aviem. What it means is they didn't do like what their father did, Shmuel Hanavi. What did he do? Shahaya Shmuel HaTzadik. The Gemara calls him Shmuel HaTzadik. Mechaze b'chol mekaymis Yisrael. He would travel and go around in all different places where Yidden lived. V'dan oisam be'areihem. And he would judge them in their cities that they learned. Shanema, as the pasuk says, v'halach midei shana b'shana. And he went every single year, v'savav bayis. And he went he went to Beis Kael, V'hagilgal, V'hamitzpah, V'shavet es Yisrael, and he judged Yidden. V'heim lo yasaken. And Bnei Shmuel did not travel around from city to city. What did they do? Eli yashvu ba'areim, they sat in their own cities. Why? In order to increase the profit of their attendants and their scribes that went around from city to city to write and things and invite them to an Torah and whatever it is. So like this, they were able to sit comfortable at home, relaxed, and their shamoshim, their attendants and their scribes, made more money traveling around for them. And perhaps they also got a kickback from this. That's l'chayda the pshat over here and what the Gemara is saying, according to Rashi. Or others say that they wanted to stay home to be able to attend to their own business and make more profit than traveling around from city to city. So they didn't actually, the bribery the pasuk talks about, the profit that the pasuk talks about, it's not to be taken in the literal sense. It's just the fact that they didn't travel around the way Shmuel did for various reasons to make more profit, but it wasn't directly that they took bribery. This is a machlokes Tanoim, whether Bnei Shmuel sinned literally or not. It says in Abraisa, vayatu achrei abotza, and they turned to the side of profit. They were looking for profit. Rab Meir says, Chelkom shalu b'fiyem. Their portion, they were Leviim. Shmuel was a Levi, and they were Leviim, which they receive Meiser. So their portion of Meiser, they went and they demanded it of people that they should give them Meiser. And because they were such great people, the sons of Shmuel, so who could turn them down? So they ended up taking a lot of Meiser, depriving other poor people of getting their fair share. So they didn't literally sin like what it says in the pasuk vayatu achrei abotza, and that they took sheichad, but this was their sin that they would demand of people, or they would request of people. That is, the Gemara of the Gemara is shalu. They requested of people to give them their meiser. Rabbi Yudah says, "Malay hitilo al balebatim." they had merchandise and things that investments that they gave over to Balabatim, and the Balabatim would invest for them and sell for them for a profit for the Bnei Shmuel, and they would give the profit to Bnei Shmuel. And now these Balabatim, when they came to Dinei Torah, they were treated favorably because of the business that they were doing for the Bnei Shmuel. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, they basically did take bribery in the literal sense. Rabbi Akiva says, Kupa Yeseira Shal Meiser Notlu Bezroya. More than what was coming to them, more than what they deserved in their Meiser, they took excessive quantity, more than they were deserving. Rabbi Yossi says, not only they took more in quantity, but matones notlu bezroya. There are certain matones, and this refers to certain portions of the animal, the zroya, l'chayayim, and keva, as Rashi brings there, that belongs to the kayanim and not to the Leviim, and they took that portion of the kayanim for themselves. That's the story with Bnei Shmuel. Now the Gemara goes on to discuss David HaMelech. Amar Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rab Yonasan, Kol ha'imid David chata. Whoever says that David HaMelech sinned, Ein ha'yela toya, is making a mistake. So this is a lengthy thing over there in the Psukim and Malachim, where it describes that David HaMelech had a relationship with Bathsheba, that was the wife of Uriah Hitti, and you look in the simple pshat of the pasuk, it seems like she was an Eishes Ish, and David HaMelech had a forbidden relationship with her. So the pasuk, so the Gemara here says, Ein elataya, shenemar vayihi David, l'chol derachav maskil, and David HaMelech was successful in all his ways. Va'Hashem mimai, and the Eibishter is with him. So the Gemara says, Efshe, chet bala yoda. Is it possible to say that a sin comes to David HaMelech, v'shchina imai, and the Shechina remains with him all the time? So therefore, from this pasuk we know that if the Shechina is with David HaMelech, he did not sin. Elamani mekayim. So then, what's the pshat of what the pasuk says? Madua bazisa es dvar havaya. Why did you disgrace the words of the Eibishter? Lase sara, to do evil. So the Gemara explains what it means is shebikish laseis v'lo yasa. He had the desire to do this evil, but he did not do it. Amarav. So Rav says, Rebbe. So Rabbi Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the Asim David, which was a descendant of David HaMelech, Mahapech v'darish b'schusei de David. So he is doing whatever he can to look for a merit for David HaMelech, and therefore he dashens the pasuk over here as follows. When it says Madua bazisa, what does the pasuk mean? V'darish b'schusei de David, Madua bazisa as dvar havaya. Why did you disgrace the words of Hashem? To do evil. So Rabbi Yomer, the expression used in the pasuk over here regarding this evil is different than other times in Torah. Usually in other times in Torah, ksiv, what does it say? Ksiv bohu vayas. Something that happens, something that's done, it always says vayas. And kan ksiv lasais. Here the pasuk uses a different lashon, lasais, to do. What's the pshat lasais? Shebikish lasais v'lo yasa. Because he only wanted, he only had the desire, he sought to do a sinful act, but he did not do the avera with Bathsheba. So this is a continuation here. This is all part of the Braise of what Rebbe said. So how do we tie these psukim when it talks about what David HaMelech did? Ves Uriah Hitti he kisa, and you killed Uriah Hitti b'cherev with a sword. So what's the pshat? What happened over here? What was the taina against David HaMelech? He killed Uriah Hitti, and it appears from the psukim there that he killed Uriah Hitti because he married his wife, which was an Eishes Ish. Is that what happened? So the emes says, as the Gemara is going to say soon, that really Uriah Hitti was a Meirid b'malchus, and he deserved Misa. Elamai, David HaMelech shouldn't have given him the punishment of Misa on his own. He should have brought him to be judged in the Sanhedrin. So it shouldn't be appear that it's being done because he married his wife, but it's being done because of the Merida b'malchus. And so this is how Rebbe teaches the pasuk of Yesha. Hayalacha ledainai b'Sanhedrin. You should have judged Uriah Hitti in the Sanhedrin, v'loi danta, and you did not. Then the pasuk says weiter, "Ves ishtay lakachta lachali isham," and his wife you took for to be your wife. So the expression the pasuk uses is lakachta, not that he lived with her, a lashon of bia or znos, but lakachta. Lakachta in the lashon of Torah means that there's a real kedushin that takes effect, that the marriage takes effect al pitayra, like in the lashon of the Chumash it says ki yikach kicha, which means that he really did marry her, it took effect al pitayra. Now if she's an Eishes Ish, the kiddushin doesn't take effect. Lekuchen yesh lecha ba. The lekuchen, the marriage, the kiddushin took effect. How did it take effect if she was married to Uriah Achiti and she was an Eishes Ish? So the Gemara says, Dam Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni, Yom Rab Yonason, again Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni, Yom Rab Yonason, which is the Amayr here, that's Malamet Chus sort of, and explains us all these different personalities in Tanakh that they did not sin. That over here what happened was, Kol HaYotze, the Milchemes Beis David, anybody that went out to the war to fight for the house of David, Kaisiv get krisis le'ishtay, would write a get for his wife in case he doesn't come back home. And he won't have the time to send somebody with a get for his wife, so he wrote a get in advance before he went out into war. Shenamar, as you see in the pasuk, it says as follows: Vesaseres. So this is in a war that was taking place, and David HaMelech sends people to the army. Vesaseres charitzia cholav elef tovi l'sara elef. Bring them cheeses, 10 blocks of cheeses. Vesachicha tifkad l'shalem, and go and see what's going on with the peace of your brothers. And then the pasuk concludes ves aruvasam tikach, and make sure of their safety. That's a simple pshat. But what is aruvasam? The Gemara says, what is their safety? My aruvasam, Tanir Rav Yosef, dvarim hama'uravim beinai lebeina. The matters that that join together husband and wife. Meaning that you should get a bill of divorce. You should get a get from the husbands for their wives in case they don't return home and they're not able to give a get in the right time. So therefore, from here we see Kalach Yetzel Milchemes Beis David Kaisav get Krisis le'ishtay. So when Uriah Achiti went out into battle, so he wrote a get for his wife, and therefore when David HaMelech had a relationship with her, she was not an Eishes Ish. Lokachta, she took her, and he took her, that is, and the Kedushin was Chal. There's actually a machlokes over between Rashi and Tosfos what exactly was done when they wrote this get. According to Rashi, the get was written with a t'nai. If the husband dies, then she's divorced. So it's only with a t'nai. And Rashi's opinion is that once you write the get with this t'nai, the get takes effect lemafreya. When he dies, retroactively, from the moment that the get was written, she's mugareshes. And therefore, although at this point when David HaMelech had a relationship with Bathsheba, Uriah Achiti was still alive, but the get takes effect lemafreya, and therefore she was not an Eishes Ish. Tosfos disagrees with Rashi. He brings from a Gemara in Gittin, at least according to one opinion, that that's not the case. The get will not take effect retroactively, and the pshat over here is that they used to write a get without any conditions attached. There was a get, they were divorced, and then when they came back from the army, they would have to remarry again. This is a famous Gemara as well, benegeh to the opening of the Yeshiva Tomchei Tmimim, where the Rebbe Rashab brought this Gemara, Kol HaYotze Milchemes Beis David, Kaisav get krisis le'ishtay, and he said that the same thing is also when a person goes out into the Milchemes Beis David, meaning to the Milchama to learn Torah, or to enter into the war, that a Bacher has to enter into the war of fighting the Yetzer Hara and learning Torah, and then having Mesiras Nefesh and so on. Kaisav get krisis le'ishtay, he has to write a get krisis, he has to cut off and disassociate with all of the physical pleasures and the physical things in the world. That's the get krisis he has to write. And according to Tosfos, it's a get krisis with no strings attached, no conditions involved in that. That's the famous word of the Rebbe Rashab that he said to the Bachrim. And it's one or the other. You got to decide where you are. If you're going out to the Milchemes Beis David, you can't be connected to another place outside of the yeshiva. Then the Rebbe quoted this word of the Rebbe Rashab on many occasions. There was once that the Rebbe added a geschmack of word to this. It's the Fabrengen, the famous Fabrengen of Purim, Tavshin Chai. So the Rebbe then said that just like it was the case over here, that the husbands left their wives, and of course their wives were waiting and longing for their husband to come back home, and there was a get, they were divorced. He's not my husband anymore. But that itself even intensified the shukit, waiting for their husband, hoping that he'll come back alive. When the husband actually returned back home alive and they got remarried again, or according to Rashi, they didn't have to get remarried, but they joined back together again, the love and the relationship was that much greater. So the Rebbe applied it as well over here. Benegeh to a Bach in Yeshiva, he goes into Yeshiva and he has to disassociate and cut yourself off from Beilam Hazeh in order to be matzliach, to be successful in the Milchemes Beis David and learning Torah. But then you're able to take that koyach that you get from the Milchemes Beis David and bring it back, bring the relationship of the Eibishter back into the Metzias of the Welt, and then the relationship and the power you have to elevate and then include and enjoy the world together back with the Eibishter is intensified and that much greater. That's a geschmack of word that Rebbe added here to this in this Gemara, in the Rebbe Rashab's word in the Pshat the Gemara. Sagt the Gemara weiter, the pasuk says, "Va'oisei harakta b'cherev b'nei Ammon," and you killed Uriah Hitti with the sword of B'nei Ammon. What's the pshat over here? Why are we bringing in the B'nei Ammon, the sword of the people of Ammon? Ma cherev B'nei Ammon. Just like when it comes David HaMelech, he killed the B'nei Ammon, so he doesn't get punished for that. He's killing the B'nai Ammon in his wars that he was fighting. He doesn't get punished for that. So to over here, Af Uriah Hitti Iatanenesh Olav, the same when he killed Uriah Hitti, David HaMelech does not deserve a punishment for this. My timer. So here the Gemara brings up that David HaMelech was a Mayred B'Malchus. The reason is, Uriah Hitti, that is, what is a Mayred B'Malchus? Mayred B'Malchus have. He was a Mayred B'Malchus. The Amalei, because when he spoke to David HaMelech, how was he speaking to him? Va'adoni Yoyav, and my master Yoyav, va'avdei Adoni, and the servants of my master Al Panei Asadachainim are camping in the field. So he uses a term Adoni, my master, referring to Yoyav when he's speaking to David HaMelech. That's a Mayred B'Malchus. How does he speak this way in front of a king? Amarav, so Rav says, Kima'ain is baby David. If you look deeply, if you analyze in the story of David HaMelech, you will see that Loi Mashkachas Bey Bar Mido. You will not find anything, any Aveda that happened in his life besides this story over here that it says by Uriah. The Chsiv, the Pasuk says, Rak Bidvar Uriah Hitti. Only with this story of Uriah HaChitti. So this is the way Rav said this. I'm going to get to what happened to David HaMelech. Abaye Kshisha Rami the Rav Adarav. Abaye Kshisha asked a question, a contradiction in what Rav said. Mi Omar Rav Hachi. Did Rav say this? Omar Rav, but Rav in another place said that there was another thing that David HaMelech did. That Kibel David Lashon Hara. David HaMelech accepted Lashon Hara. So, was there only one thing to discuss regarding David HaMelech, what he did, Uriah Hitti, or there something else? Over here we see that there was a case of Lashon Hara, which the Gemara is going to bring right now. The Gemara says Kashya. This remains a question. Now, what was the story of the Lashon Hara? Gufa. Here's the statement itself that Rav spoke about regarding the Lashon Hara of David HaMelech. Rav Amar Kibul David Lashon Hara, that David HaMelech accepted Lashon Hara Chsiv, Vayoyim Eloi HaMelech. Eifoi, where is he? So this is after Shaul HaMelech passes away, after David HaMelech is king, and one of his best friends, as we see in the Psukim, and it's also brought in Pirkei Avos, was the love between David and Yonasan. It's a Avash Ein Tluyi B'David. They were very close. And then, after they passed away, after Yonasan passed away, David HaMelech was looking to do something good for one of his descendants. So he was looking for one of his children, which was Mephibosheth. Eifahu, where is Mephibosheth, the son of Yonasan? Vayomet Tziva al HaMelech, so Tziva, which was a servant, which was a Eved by Yonasan. So Tziva said to the king, Hinehu beis Mache ben Amiel, he's at the house of Mache ben Amiel, and the pasuk concludes, Beloi Davar. What does Beloi Davar mean? Beloi Davar means Uksiv, so the Gemara is going to explain. Uksiv, and the pasuk says, Vayishlach HaMelech vayikachei mi beis Mache ben Amiel, and he went and he brought Mephibosheth from the house of Mache ben Amiel, Miloi Davar. So over here it says Miloi Davar. So he told him that it was Beloi Davar. What did he mean to say? What did this Tzivya? What's her name again? Tziva. What did he say when he said Beloi Davar? Beloi Davar, as Rashi here says, means that he has nothing to him. He has no Torah to him. He's empty. Beloi Davar. But then later, when David HaMelech actually found Mephibosheth, he found it not to be true. He found it to be Meloi Davar, that he's full. He's full of Torah. So this is the Lashon Hara that he accepted. So Mechti, the Gemara says, let's see what's going on over here. Chazia de Shakarahu, didn't he see that Tziva, that is, was lying about Mephibosheth, that really he was full of Torah? Ki hadar al shenilavei my time a kibla. Now the Gemara is going to bring that the first time around David HaMelech actually did not accept this Lashon Hara. He went, he brought Mephibosheth, and he saw that he was a big Talmid Chacham. He didn't accept it the first time. But there was another time that he did accept Lashon Hara. When was this? The Chsiv, the pasuk says, "Vayomer HaMelech va'ayei ben Adonechem." Where is the son of your master? In other words, he's looking for Mephibosheth. Vayomer Tziva al HaMelech. Again, Tziva says lashon hara about Mephibosheth. She was obviously very jealous of him, and she said, or he said that is, that Hine Yeshiv Yerushalayim. He's sitting in Yerushalayim. So Rashi explains what happened over here. What was he saying? That he was sitting in Yerushalayim. This was the time that David HaMelech was running away from his son Avshalom that was chasing him, trying to take over the kingdom. And what Tziva was saying is that Mephibosheth came to Yerushalayim and was hoping to take over the kingdom. He said, I'm the descendant of Shalom Melech, and it came the time that I should take back the kingdom from my grandfather. That's the Lashon Hara that Tziva said about Mephibosheth. And how do we know that David HaMelech accepted this Lashon Hara? Because it says, Chsiv, Vayomer HaMelech leTziva, and David HaMelech says to Tziva, Hine lecha kol asher lefim Mephibosheth, Vayomer Tziva eshtachavesa emtzachem b'nei Adonai HaMelech. And he gave everything that belongs to Mephibosheth. He gave it to Tziva, and Tziva bowed down to the king. So we see that David HaMelech was upset at Mephibosheth because he wanted to take over his kingdom, and therefore he gave everything, the inheritance of Mephibosheth, he gave everything to, he says everything is going to go to Tziva. He promised it all to Tziva. So we see that he accepted the Lashon Hara. Shmuel disagrees with this whole thing. Shmuel says, no, David HaMelech did not accept the Lashon Hara. Loi kibul David Lashon Hara. David did not accept the Lashon Hara. Rather, what happened? Dvarim hanikarim chazabeh. He saw things that demonstrated to him, he recognized things in Tziva that verified the accusation of Tziva. As the pasuk says, Mephibosheth ben Shaul yorad lefnei HaMelech lo'asa raglov. He wasn't wearing any shoes on his feet, or he wasn't wearing pants properly. V'lo'asa sfama. He didn't comb and brush his mustache or his beard. V'ez begadav like kibbis. He didn't wash his clothing. He came in front of David HaMelech, not the way a person appears in front of a king. Uksiv, and then the pasuk says, Vayihi, and it was Kiba Yerushalayim lekras HaMelech, when he came to David HaMelech in Yerushalayim, Vayomer lo HaMelech lama lo halachta imi Mephibosheth. Why did you not go with me, Mephibosheth? Okay, he didn't come with him. He didn't follow David HaMelech. Vayomer Adonai HaMelech avdi rimani ki ama avducha ech b'shaliach hamoyer ve'erka ve'lev ve'elech al HaMelech. So he said that the king, I deceived you, and you're my. Then he said, you should saddle your donkey that I may ride and go with you, my king. And then he continued and he said, Ki piseyach avducha, I'm lame, I couldn't come. Vayiragel b'avducha l'Adonai HaMelech, v'Adonai HaMelech kamalach alakim, v'aseh atov beinecha. And then, so the pasuk says, and Vayiragel b'avducha HaMelech, Tziva is saying bad things about me. And you do as good as, do with me as you want. If you accept this Lashon Hara, do with me as you want. Vayomer lo HaMelech lama tadaber oid dvarecha amarti, I said, ata v'tziva tachalkus asada. I will divide your possessions. You and Tziva will divide your possessions. Your field will both take half and half. Vayomer Mephibosheth el HaMelech games hakoil yikach acharoi asher ba Adonai HaMelech b'shalom el beisai. Let him take everything. So you return to your house in peace, let him take everything. In other words, he rejected this settlement. He was very upset that David HaMelech accepted the Lashon Hara of Mephibosheth and is giving him only half of his field and giving the other half to Tziva. But the point is over here that Shmuel is pointing out that this Mephibosheth actually did have a desire to become the king. He didn't appear in front of David HaMelech the way he was supposed to. He didn't follow David HaMelech the way he was supposed to. And that is the reason of why David HaMelech saw himself. He wasn't just relying on the Lashon Hara, but he saw it for himself. Amaloi ani amarti mosai tavi b'shalom. So Mephibosheth is saying to David HaMelech, I was saying that you should return in peace. I wanted you to return. He was, like I mentioned, this is talking about the time period that David HaMelech was running away from his son Avshalom. I desired that you should return in peace into your house. And this is what you do. This is the settlement you give me. Lo yalecha yesh li tarumais. My complaints are not against you, against David HaMelech, el al misha v'yacha b'shalom. The one that brought you back home in peace, I have complaints against the Eibishter. So here we see who Mipivoshes really was. That he had complaints against the Eibishter, and therefore, so David HaMelech was right in accusing him. Haine d'chsev, Ben Yohainason Miriv Baal. The son of Yohainason was Miriv Baal. So this is a new name that we're giving to Mephibosheth. Miriv Baal. Miriv Baal Shemai. Is this his name? V'alai Mephibosheth Shemai. His name was Mephibosheth. Ela mitoich she'asa meriva in Bailov. Because he made a fight with his master, referring to the Eibishter. Yotzasa Baska v'amar aloi. A Baska came out and said, Neitza, Natza, Bar Natza. That the Natza is someone that fights, a fighter, the son of a fighter, Natza. So where do we see that he was a fighter? What's the pshat over here that he was fighting Hodamaran, as you just said, that he was complaining against the Eibishter, that he was angry at the Eibishter. Bar Natza, what does it mean that he was the son of a fighter? D'chsiv vayovay Shaul el ir Amalek vayorev banochal. And when Shaul HaMelech, this is the time when Shaul HaMelech came to fight Amalek, when he was supposed to wipe out Amalek, and he came over there to Ir Amalek vayorev banochal, and he was fighting in the by the riverbed. What's the pshat of it? What was he fighting about? Omar Rebbe, that is. Omar Abmoni, Al Iske Nachal. Very interesting. It's not the place. It's not that he came to a place of a Nachal. He was fighting with himself, and he brought up the concept of a Nachal. As Rashi explained over here, he was saying to himself, when he get to the mitzvah that he had to wipe out Amalek, why does David want me to wipe out the entire Amalek? If there's a mitzvah of Egla Arufa, which was brought by a river, by a Nachal, just for one person that dies, so over here I'm going to go and wipe out the whole Amalek, men, women, and children. So he was sort of fighting with the Eibishter, fighting with himself, and he didn't want to fulfill the command of the Eibishter to wipe out all of Amalek. That's why Mephibosheth, that it was a descendant of Shaul, was called a Natza Bar Natza. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav Shosh Amar David Mephibosheth. When David HaMelech said to Mephibosheth that Ata v'tziva tachlikus asada, that you and Tziva will divide the field. So this is Rav following his opinion that he held that Mephibosheth did not deserve this punishment. This was Lashon Hara that David accepted, and it wasn't true. Right? This is the machlekes here between Rav and Shmuel. What's the story with Mephibosheth? Was it Lashon Hara, or did David HaMelech himself see? So Rav says that no, this was a negative thing that David HaMelech did when he took away half of Mephibosheth's field. Yotza Baska va'amra, a Baska came out and said va'amra loy, and said to David HaMelech, Rechavam v'Yeravam yachlikus hamlucha. Rechavam, your grandson, and Yeravam, which was a servant in the house of Shlomo HaMelech, are going to divide the Melucha. There's going to be the Malchus Yisrael and Malchus Beis David. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, and Rav Yehuda Amar Rav followed and said regarding this, if David would have not accepted this Lashon Hara, the kingdom of David HaMelech would have never been divided, and then Yidden would have not served Avodah Zarah with Yeravam. Yeravam is the one that brought about Avodah Zarah. He brought the Agolim and Yisrael that they served Avodah Zarah. There wouldn't have been Avodah Zarah, and there wouldn't have been the Golas. They wouldn't have been exiled from the first Beis Hamikdash. Okay, now the Gemara continues. We're done with David HaMelech. The Gemara continues b'negeya to Shlomo HaMelech. Amar Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni, Amar Rab Yonason. Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni again said, in the name of Rab Yonason, regarding Shlomo HaMelech, Kol ha'emes Shlomo chata. Whoever says that Shlomo HaMelech sinned, as the Gemara will bring up soon the Psukim, ein el l'toyeh. He's making a mistake. Shenemar, the pasuk says, his heart wasn't whole and one with Hashem like the heart of David his father. Which means, he was not like his father David, but he also didn't sin. That's what we see here in this pasuk. So now the Gemara brings the psukim where it seems that it says that he did sin. Elamani mekayim. So what is the pshat in the pasuk where it says Vayihila e ziknas shloime noshav hitu es levavai, that when Shlomo HaMelech became old, his wives turned his heart against the Eibishter. What is this referring to? What happened over here? Hahi, so the Gemara says what happened there is Rab Nosson. This is like what Rab Nosson explained. The Rami Rab Nosson asked a contradiction. Ksiv, in one pasuk it says, Vayihile zikna shleimen nashav hitu es levaveh, that his wives turned his heart against Hashem. But Vaksiv, in another pasuk it says, Kilevav David Aviv, and his heart wasn't perfect like his father. Kilevav David udalai have, but michtename lechata, but he didn't sin either. So what's the pshat? Hachikama. So Rab Nosson answered, this is the pshat. Vayihi le'ei ziknas shloime nashav hitu es levaveh leleches achrei elekim acherim, that they turned his heart to go after Elikim Acherim, but v'lo yalach, he didn't go. It was only hitu, but he didn't actually go. So therefore, it's not a contradiction to this that he says that he was a tzaddik, although he wasn't as great as his father. They were pushing him to go, but he didn't. Trak the Gemara, but Vaksiv, there's a pasuk that says, Oz yivne shleime banma l'chmaish shikutz mayav, that David HaMelech built a bama for the avodah zarah of Mayav. So it does say that he built an avodah zarah. So the Gemara says again, the pshat of yivne does not mean that he actually built. Shebikish livnais v'lei bana. There was a desire, he wanted to, but he did not. That's the pshat of yivne. Yivne only means that he wanted to. For the Gemara, we find the term yivne somewhere else. Ela meyato oz yivne Yeshua mizbeach l'Hashem. When the pasuk says that Yeshua built a mizbeach for the Eibishter, and the pasuk in Yeshua where he builds a mizbeach after he comes into Eretz Yisrael, this is also misha bikesh livnes v'lei bana, that he only wanted to build and he didn't actually build it. Over there he did build it. We see that the word yivne means that he built it. Ela de bana, he built. Hachanami de bana. Over here the pshat by Shlomo HaMelech is that he did build it. Ella, so rather the Gemara gives a different answer. Kedetanya, the pshat over here is, like we learned in the Braise, Rabbi Yosi said, V'esa bomois, Ashapnei Yerushalayim, Ashemimin lahara mishcha, Ashabana Shlomo Melech Yisrael, Ashkrei shikus tzidainim. He built bomois for the shikus of tzidainim for Avodah Zarah. Efsher, ba asa, v'loi. So then the pasuk there continues. This is a pasuk in Hosea, I believe. Let me see a second. It's a pasuk later in Malachim, actually. Yeah. Pasuk in Malachim. So the question is, the pasuk there continues and says that they destroyed these mizbachais that David HaMelech built for Avodah Zarah. Efsher ba asa v'loi bi'aram. Is it possible that Asa HaMelech, in his times, he did not destroy these mizbachais that were built for Avodah Zarah? Yeshafat v'loi bi'aram. Yeshafat did not destroy them either. Acha ba Yoshia, in that pasuk it says Yoshia came along with bi'aram and destroyed them. But how could it be? How did it wait till the time of Yoshia? Asa HaMelech and Yeshafat before got rid of all Avodah Zarah in Eretz Yisrael, as the Gemara brings now. V'alei kol Avodah Zarah shel Eretz Yisrael, Asa v'Yeshafat bi'aram. Asa and Yeshafat destroyed and got rid of all Avodah Zarah in Eretz Yisrael. So what happened over here with these mizbachos that David HaMelech built? Elamakish rishainim la'achreinim. We compare the first ones to the later ones. Ma achreinim loy asu v'tala behen l'shvach. Just like the later ones, the Achreinim did not do, and the Torah is Taila in them the Shvach, that they did not build Avodah Zarah. Afri Shainim loy asu v'tala ben lignai. Also, the earlier ones, referring to Shlomo HaMelech, he didn't actually do what it says in the pasuk, and the Torah is just contributing it to him lignai as if he did it. Right, so it doesn't mean that he actually built these mizbachos for Avodah Zarah. Okay, so just like when you get to Yoshia, he didn't actually do what it says in the pasuk. Right? He didn't destroy it. Really, Asa and Yeshafat is the one that got rid of all the Avodah Zarahs before. Elamai, whatever remaining Avodah Zarahs there were, not remaining, sorry, there was nothing left over. Asa and Yeshafat got rid of all Avodah Zarah, but whatever additional Avodah Zarahs were then built in Eretz Yisrael. So then Yoshia came along and got rid of. So the same thing over here also, when it get to Shlomo HaMelech, he did not actually build these mizbachos for Avodah Zarah. Fragt the Gemara, but v'aksiv vayas Shlomo hara be'eni Hashem. The pasuk says that Shlomo HaMelech did terrible things in the eyes of the Eibishter. Ella, the reason is mipnei shahayale limchais ben nashav alay micha, because he should have protested against his wives and he didn't. Maila alavakasav kiluchata. The Torah considers it as if he himself built these mizbachais to Avodah Zarah. So this is the conclusion of the Inyan here, that we ask the question that you can't say that vayivne. Sorry, what was the lashon of the pasuk? Yivne, yeah, oz yivne shloime. You can't say that he did not build them, that the mizbachais were not actually built for Avodah Zarah. By Yeshua, we see it uses Lashon Yivne, it means that it was actually built for Avodah Zarah. So the Gemara's conclusion is they were actually built for Avodah Zarah, but not by him himself. They were built by his wives for Avodah Zarah, but the Torah considers it as if he built it because he should have protested and he didn't protest, which was the beginning of our whole sugya here, where we discussed the importance of a person speaking up and protesting in a case where he can, and if not, it's considered as if he did it himself. The Gemara continues weiter, when to Shlomo Melech. Amar Rav Yehuda Mashmuel Noyach Leila Oiset Tzadik Shehei Shamish L'Dover Acher Val Yichtav By Vayas Hara Be'enei Hashem. It would have been better for Shlomo Melech to be an attendant for Avodah Zarah, and the Torah should not write about him that he, Shlomo Melech, did evil in the eyes of the Eibishter. Okay, so what are we talking over here about? What did he do? Amar Rav Yehuda Mashmuel B'Shosh Nasa Shlomo Bas Pareh. When Shlomo Melech married the daughter of Pareh, he chnisa loy 1,000 minei zemer. So she brought 1,000 kinds of instruments. Va'amra loy, and she said to him, Kach eisn avodah zarah plainis. This is what they play for this avodah zarah. V'kach eisn avodah zarah plainis, and this is what they play for another avodah zarah. V'lei michaba, and he did not protest against her. Amar Rav Yehuda Mashmuel B'Shosh Nasa Shlomo Bas Pareh. When Shlomo Melech married Bas Pareh, Yorad Gavriel v'noatz kone b'yam. Gavriel came down and stuck a rod into the ocean. And what happened? V'ola boy sirtain. And then the mud and the earth surrounded this pole, and it slowly began to form a island around it until it formed the V'olav Nivne Krach Gol Shoraimi, and upon it was built the great city of Rome, which then became, of course, Rome came to destroy second Beis HaMikdash. So this was all a result of the fact that he married Bas Pareh. Eventually this brought to the kingdom of Rome to come into the world and to destroy the second Beis HaMikdash. In Abraisa we learned on that day that Yeravam brought 2 golden calves into Eretz Yisrael, echad bebeis keil ve'echad bedon. One was in beis keil and one was in don. Nivne tzrif echad, there was a small little hut that was built, V'zeu Italia shel Yavan, and eventually that's the place that became Italia shel Yavan, which was again the Yavanim that came and brought destruction to the Yidden. So we see one little Aveda that one person did in one place in the world brings a certain energy of Klippa into the world, and in another place it brings about a Kayach of Klippa in this world that eventually brings about destruction. So we see how powerful with the actions of a person in L'chayri thinks to himself he's doing something in an isolated place, how powerful his actions are. Okay, now we move on to another person. Amar Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni, Amar Rabbi Yonasan. Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni said in the name of Rabbi Yonasan, whoever says that Yeshiyahu sinned, Eni Elataya is making a mistake. Right, so you look in the psukim of Yeshiyahu, it says there how Yeshiyahu did tshuva. So if he did tshuva, it's pretty clear that it was something to do tshuva for, that he sinned. So he says no, it's a mistake. Shenemar vayas hayosha b'nei Hashem vayelech b'chol derech David aviv. That he did what's straight and good in the eyes of Hashem, and he walked in the path of his father David. So we see that he walked in the path of David, his father. Elamani Mekayim. So what's the pshat when it says there was nobody like him, a king before that did tshuva. So apparently he did sin and he had to do tshuva. So the pshat is Shakol Dayan Shadan Mi Ben Shmoina At Shmoinasre, that or Dinin, maybe he's supposed to read the Gemara. All these Dinei Torah, he became a king and he judged from a very, very young age. He was 8 years old. But then later on, when he became older, so all of those judgments that he judged at a young age, from when he was 8 years old until when he was 18 years old, he returned whatever he took from people, whatever money he judged and said that you have to pay, and he made people pay money, he returned all the money. Right, so this is what it's referring to. His tshuva was because he judged at such a young age, although he probably judged properly, but because it was at that time at such a young age, so therefore he turned everything. So would you think the pshat is that he went back to the people involved in the Din Torah and he took the money back that was paid and returned it to the person? No, that's not what happened. He paid back from his own pocket, from his own money. He paid back all of the money for those 10 years that he was judging people. He gave his own money. So this is a statement over here in this interpretation that Rabbi Yonasan said is arguing on Rav. The Omar Rav actually said, Ein lecha gadol bebali tshuva yoseh mi Yoshiyahu b'dayroi. There's no greater Bal Tshuva than Yoshiyahu in his generation. And then he said, Ve'echad b'dayreinu. And there's one great Bal Tshuva in our generation as well. Who's this great Bal Tshuva in his generation, in Rebbe's generation? Manu, who is this? Abba Avua the Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba. This is Abba, which is the father of Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba. He was also a great Bal Tshuva. V'amrila, and others said Acha. This is Acha, which was Achua the Abba, which was the brother of Abba, which was Avua the Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba. Rabbi Yirmiyah. So either it was Abba or Acha that was a great Bal Tshuva. These were two brothers, Abba and Acha, and one of them was a great Bal Tshuva in the generation of Rabbi. Rav Yosef said, and there's another great Bal Tshuva in our generation, Rav Yosef's generation. And who is this? Ukva bar Nechemia Reish Galusa. This is Ukva bar Nechemia, which was the Reish Galusa in his times. V'hainu Nasan de Tzutzisa. And this is also, he's also known as Nasan ben Tzutzisa. This is, or Nasan de Tzutzisa. This is the name, the nickname that he had. Okay, what's the pshat Nasan de Tzutzisa? So Rashi over here says that there was nitzoitzen, sparks of fire that came out of him because of the tshuva that he did. Yeah, that's the first pshat that Rashi over here says. Rav Yosef said, I was sitting and giving a shir, and I was dozing off. I was dozing off in my learning. And I saw in my dream the kapashet yadeh v'kiblei, that a malach came and stretched out his hands and accepted the tshuva of this Nasan Tzutzisa, this Reish Galusa. This is the great Bal Tshuva of the generation of Rav Yosef. Hadran alach b'meh behema, hadran alach b'meh behema, hadran alach b'meh behema. We finish Baruch Hashem the 5th Perek of Masechta Shabbos. Have a very good Shabbos, everybody. And Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow night, Motzei Shabbos, we will begin a new Perek.